What's up, everybody? This is The Next Step. This is episode 1 of The Next Step. It's a premiere. I decided to do this episode because I wanted to change it a little bit. You guys have been used to myself on Instagram, on IGTV, Instagram Live. I have a series called the Grand Meal Interview Series. I also have a series called the Grand Lady Interview Series. And the purpose of this is to show men and women, distinguished men and women, that made an impact on my life or I feel like are a good role model for other men and women out there, for them to be part of this movement, right? Now, the next step was created because I wanted guys out there that are on the same level as me. They're still learning. They're still trying to grow. They're still trying to build their own brands or whatever is going on. Or maybe they just want to be on the stream because I feel like they have a great opinion. They're very educated. They're very articulate, or just they have something very special to share. And that's why I have these gentlemen on right now. So we got Damian on my right, and we got Chris at the bottom of where I am. And we also have Sam on the corner. We also have Alex and Marcus joining us in just a bit. So before I have Alex and Marcus join us in a little bit, I want to have starting from Damian, then to Chris, and then to Sam. Please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe a little bit about your past, what's going on in the present moment, and what's going on in the future. Starting with you, Damian.
All right. Thank you, Cam. So I'm Damian. Basically, I come from a economics and finance background. So really been here in Washington, D.C. for about a good 5 years. And so I kind of bring that, what's going on in the economy, what's going on with money, and what's going on with financial markets right now. That's kind of my perspective with this. So technically speaking, this past year has been very much a study and like, all right, what's going on with workers? What's going on with employers? And are we really talking about the way that the labor market is moving in the right way? And if we're not, then how should we be talking about it? So that's kind of like what I bring to this perspective. And even myself, I've changed jobs recently. And so we might get into that. I haven't really made a final announcement yet. So I'm actually transitioning myself as well.
Awesome. And by the way, for the audience who is not aware, our episode, Damian and I's episode, is actually available on YouTube. That's one of the few episodes I ever aired on YouTube before I decided to go full-time with Instagram, and Instagram decided to be lame with me and not monetize me. So now I'm going to give my business to somebody else that will potentially bring more revenue and customers in the future and viewers in the future. So that's why I'm on the YouTube train right now. And Damian and I's episode is available. If you just, I don't remember what Grand Meal interview episode we had, but that episode was really good. So anybody wants to know, I think if you just maybe type in the Grand Meal, type in my name, Damian's name, it might show up. If not, just DM me on Instagram. I'll be happy to send you the episode. But but overall, it was just a very eye-opening experience, and I learned a lot from Damian on there. And that's why I want to bring Damian back, because Damian has a lot to share with the world. So appreciate you coming on, brother.
No worries. No worries.
All right. And we got Chris as the next person, and then we'll go to Sam, and then we have Marcus joining us afterwards.
What is up, guys? My name is Chris Matico. I am based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I also work in the finance industry. I work in annuities and life insurance, but my specialty is more reliant in fitness and mindset. I used to be a gym cell / looks master type of guy. As of recent, I was always searching for the answers to find the solution to my problems, which were always in more parody-based videos on YouTube. So I wasn't really learning. I was just getting more entertainment. Come this past quarantine, 2020 was the best year of my life. Found the answers I was looking for and got the results I needed. And now I'm in crypto. I'm talking with Cam and Huds, who will be joining us later on the stream. And if you need anything based off of mindset, how to stop overthinking about anything and getting the best look that you can get without, doing the whole accounting for all your calories and stuff like that, I'm your guy, and we can get this all rolling.
Love it. Chris, you had an amazing transformation. We're definitely going to be talking about it on today's episode, so I'm very excited to hear that. Sam, you are next, my friend.
Hi, I'm Sam. I worked in finance for a few years, roughly 7. And November 4, 2019, I decided to leave corporate America. And it was like pretty good timing. This was right before the shutdown. I had started learning how to day trade prior to that for a few months. But I'd been in the stock market since the crash, like the market bottom in 2009. So I took that experience that I had and I built on it so I could learn how to day trade and take that account to the next level. Otherwise, I have this whole like setup over here because I did stream Warzone for a while during quarantine. So that was pretty fun. It was a learning experience, and I've since stopped. So maybe Cameron was saying that maybe I'll get back into it. We'll see.
Hopefully, we'll make it happen. Marcus, are you there, my man?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm having issues with my camera. But
It's all good. Can you still do the soundboard?
give me a moment. Tell me if you can hear this.
Oh yeah,
That's good.
that's the best one right there.
Eso. Okay, perfect. So, Marcus, we were just doing a little bit of introductions right now. Tell us a little bit about your past, what's going on in the present with you, present moment, and also, ¿qué va a pasar en el futuro, my friend? What's going on in the future?
Well, a little bit about myself. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm 28 years old. I studied chemistry and mathematics, but then I ended up in the finance industry, specifically in the insurance industry. I am currently working as an actuarial analyst at a health insurance company. And right now I'm just focusing on passing my actuarial exams, getting fit as fuck like Chris, and making some gains in crypto.
Oh yeah. So is everybody on this panel is invested in crypto? I believe. Sam, are you invested in crypto too?
I have a few that I bought in 2017, and I put $500, only $500, into Ethereum a few months ago. That was right before it went from like I bought it at like 2150, and it went up to like over 4300, and then now it's like less than that. So
Just hodl, man. It's the name of the game.
yeah,
It's the name of the
Right,
game.
that's
it's
right.
too small to worry about.
So, Damian, are you in stocks at all? I feel like when I spoke to you, you mentioned to me you've been in the stock market before.
Not right now, actually. No, I used to play a little bit in stocks, but before getting into the government, before being an economist, I worked at a bank as a banker, and then I worked in the brokerage industry. So I worked for a company like Raymond James that does like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. So I worked in back office. So I used to have a license for different mutual funds and items like that when that was active. So do I have a Robinhood account? Yeah, but do I actually use it? No. I mean, I've had brokerage accounts before, but currently I don't. Currently, I'm only in crypto, actually. So.
Okay. And one of the things, Sam, for us is that so a lot of us are actually almost everybody on the panel is very invested into crypto. And one of the things, just to kind of rehash for the audience right now, I want to circle back to what you said, Damon. Give us like the dirty secret, the dirty lies, or I guess the dirty secret that the government or the world, society doesn't want you to know about when it comes to your money or when it comes to, let's say, financial freedom, maybe diving into cryptocurrency. Like, do you feel like there's a little bit out there that society's kind of withholding, not government in particular, just society in general, like it's kind of withholding from us that we feel like we should learn and we should thrive and persevere? And if we find more of us like found out about this kind of stuff, then we would all be more financially free in the future.
I guess the biggest thing that like a lot of business owners know this and a lot of homeowners know this is that just working 9 to 5, you will never get ahead. So what I mean by that is you have to be invested. So if that means you're invested in a primary residence and you have a rental property, or that means if you're invested in the stock market, or if you're invested in a vast range of mutual funds, it doesn't have to be crypto. The reason why we're in crypto is because we're a little bit on the younger side. But if you're, a little bit on the older side, you definitely want to have a little bit more spread out when it comes to your investments. But as far as like the biggest secret is that like you're never going to make it on wages alone. You're never going to get to where you want to be. And so no one's technically keeping that from you, but no one's going to tell you that. So it doesn't really matter unless you're jumping from a regular job to celebrity status, no one's going to tell you that like you need to have either a side investment, a side property, or a side business. That's really the next step. as you would say, probably as a good intro for this.
I like how you tie that in together, because that's what the show is all about. Whether you feel as an audience member you were lied to from society, you were lied to about the mainstream bullshit that's fed to everybody, saying how you should be what women really want in a man, or how do you really become financially free, right? Do you guys feel that? Because like I had some stories I posted yesterday where I felt like deep down I know the world is not out to get me. I don't want people to think like I feel like, oh, I'm a victim and everyone hates me and everyone's out to get me. It's not like that. It's more like I just feel that I was conditioned through life, through the mainstream and through Disney movies and movies in general, like about women, money, freedom, just more mental clarity. I feel like I was lied to. Do you guys get that at all? Like anybody in the panel wants to jump in and speak on that?
I completely disagree. I don't think that we were necessarily lied to. I mean, that's part of the human experience. It's figuring it out. We were given this set of rules, the way that things go, and what are we going to do with it? We either learn about it, we make it work, or we don't. Like, think about the entire thing with Wall Street bets and all that went on. And it's like, oh, like take down the hedge funds, screw them over. Because the hedge funds are the ones who figured out how to make it work when it comes to finances. And so everybody is like excited to try and figure out what they know. It's the same type of thing. I don't think we were lied to.
Well, I would say to your point, Alex, I think that's very fair, because that's why I didn't want to mention that I come up as like I'm being victimized and I'm also like pissed off that I was lied to in the past or something. By the way, Alex, there's still a little bit of feedback in your audio, just to let you know, man. While you were talking, by the way, you were totally fine. But like the moment you don't speak, that's whenever the mic starts getting like fuzzy and staticky in the background. But excuse me. But Alex, you mentioned a very good point. Thank you for clarifying that for me, because even I got to reiterate a little bit. So I'm not saying that we were like maliciously lied to and society said, all right, this is this. I just feel like society is not going to inform you of other decisions unless you go out as a man seeking for that shit. That's where the human life journey begins, right? When you're seeking answers, you want more clarity. What's your take on what we've been speaking about so far, Chris?
So you're 100% correct in the fact that, it's not necessarily that you've been lied to. It's that you were raised in a certain way, whether it's your family, the way that you were employed or whatever, that, that's how you think, that's how you're brought up. And to go off of Damian's point, you're absolutely correct, especially if you want to live an above average lifestyle. Though I do have to say, and the one big problem that we have in the community that we're a part of is, we'll call it, for lack of a better term, the RP community, is that it's a double-edged sword, because there's two big problems with this sort of community. It's generalization and extremism. So we're going to cover extremism in this factor, because this is a big thing. And if you ever read the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving Enough, there's a good point that's made in the book. In if you're living a quote-unquote average life, what do you really have to complain about? Obviously, we want to live above average life. Obviously, that's everyone's dream. Everyone should drive, Lambo with their crypto gains and maybe lose some of their crypto in a boating accident and all that type of stuff, right? But at the end of the day, listen, if you have a place, you have a roof over your head, you're driving a car that works, you have food on the table, and you have, maybe even a girl once a month or two times every 2 months, for the majority of guys, they pray for that. You know what I mean? So if you're living in that type of a quote unquote average life, you're not really screwed. Everyone thinks that you have to go to this extreme and that extreme. And that's really, really toxic if you really take that way too much in consideration. Because next thing you know, let's say you invest all your money in XRP and you lost it going to a ferry in Iceland. Next thing you know, you're broke, you're on the street in Iceland, and now you can't do much. So just be thankful for the things that you have. Don't go to this full extremity of, achieve greatness, make your dent in the world, but be smart about it. That's all I have to say.
That was so good.
Perfect. So
Facts.
Who was that? Who did that?
Me.
Good job, Marcus.
Spitting facts, bro.
I love it, man. And Chris, thank you for that, brother. And I also sent you a message on the private chat, so check that out for a second. Sam, I saw you nodding your head a little bit in the beginning when I asked the question for the panel. What's your opinion on everything we've been sharing so far?
Regarding the
kind of about like society has its condition, I think overall has again, I don't. I just Damien explained it very well. He was saying that it's not like society is out to like hurt you and harm you, but they're not going to give you the shortcut to life. They're not going to give you like the convenient answer you need to become a better person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or to like become more financially free, or to be better with women, or whatever it is, right? If you saw my stories from yesterday, and based on what we're talking about today, do you have any opinion on this whole thing? Like, do you feel like kind of like you were maybe misled a little bit, or you were missing information that should have been given to you sooner?
Definitely missing information. Once you actually told me about the whole red pill thing, I was like, all right, like, let's see what this is, like, all right, let's entertain this thought. So I looked into it. I was like, wow, they're actually making valid points to a certain degree. And there's a lot that I agreed with. But my personal opinion is that it's what you make of it. So if you want to break through it, if you feel like there's something wrong in your life, do your best to fix it yourself, for yourself, because no one else is going to give a shit to like come and fix it for you. No one's going to fix it for you unless you do it yourself. Mm-hmm. And that goes to my personal life with getting out of corporate America. I just felt like there was something wrong over there. Just from day one, like there were some, I worked as a consultant, so I had a lot of assignments. There were some assignments I liked a lot, to the point that I was like, I'd leave this place just to go work there. And there were some places that I just despised, but there was always something wrong just there.
Okay.
And I knew I had to get out. So I knew very quickly I had to get out. So I always looked for an out, and I worked towards it. Once I realized that the stock market was my out, because I already had the experience to build on, I was like, you know what, I'm taking this. And I took 3 months, 20-hour days, and to figure out how to trade properly. Once I had that first clue, that first inch, I took the mile. So I built on it, and here I am now. I'm so happy I cannot go back.
So one of the things, Sam's very much into the whole stock market stuff, and you do a lot of like day trading, right?
Yeah.
So what are some advice for our audience members, anybody on the panel that's interested in like day trading, swing trading? I know Marcus, he just turned off his video, but Marcus, if you're still there, I think you benefit a lot from the conversation. If you're not catching all this, okay, cool, you're back. I want to know, he's just like drinking a giant jug. That's his Ethereum fuel right there to go to the moon.
I like it.
So Sam, explain to us like some advice that you could give for guys who are into day trading, because I know guys that are into the crypto community that all 5 of us are into, right? That we're all 5 of us have been part of this community before, the crypto community. For those of us who want to like long and short like Doge or XRP, like some crazy lunatics, right? Like degens. What advice can you give to guys to be more intelligent with the cryptos or stocks that they choose? Like, how do you find the right stocks? How do you pick the winners? I know nothing is guaranteed, but like, how do you go about it?
Here's the best part. You don't have to find new stocks. Just find the stock that you can identify the trend for. If you can figure out that trend, stick with it and just exploit the trend every single time it comes up. Like every time. So if you've seen stock charts for more like professional traders, you see a lot of lines and weird stuff. You're like, what is going on here? Those all mean something. So if a stock is trading around those lines, and you can identify how it's trading around those lines, exploit that opportunity and take the money from Wall Street.
And this is definitely going to boil Alex's blood too. Screw you, hedge funds. Marcus, what's your whole take on this, my man? Like, do you follow candlestick charts based on like what Charlie and Miguel have recommended? Like, do you follow trends, or do you just kind of go with what makes the most sense? Like, how do you identify what's the right crypto for you? Because I know you're heavily bullish on crypto. On your Instagram, you are very much posting crypto stuff all the time. That's where I find out about any of my crypto news is from you and the other Hispanic dude. What's his name? Ruben Mojado. He goes by Mojado on Telegram. So
yeah,
you two guys are my main crypto commentators. So what's your whole take on what Sam was explaining? Like, do you ever apply any of those principles in your crypto, or like how do you go about it?
To be honest, since I have little bit of time only to look at charts. I don't look at them that much. But when I am planning to buy, for example, a dip, like now that Ethereum is dipping hard, I apply the principles I learned from Charlie and Miguel. But mostly I use the fundamentals. Like the fundamental analysis. Like for example, is there a lot of bullish news on Ethereum or other Ethereum based tokens? Or is there like bullish news or bearish news on Bitcoin or AMP, for example? I love that coin, bro. That's basically what I do.
So we were in Miami. Alex, do you remember this? We were doing, we were filming our documentary for for First Class Miami, right?
I hope you cashed out, dude. I hope you cashed out when it hit that all-time high.
Oh, what for AMP?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely took some profit on that. But what I wanted to mention was when we were in Miami. Do you remember we were doing our interviews where I was getting filmed by Roberto, right? And then in the middle of it, there's this guy that keeps commenting. Well, I gotta mute you for just a second because it keeps getting feedback, and then go ahead and unmute yourself afterwards. What I was saying is, yeah, it's coming from you, my man. Let me mute you really quick. Okay. Yeah. How's the audio coming in? Now there's no feedback, guys, right?
Yeah, no feedback.
Okay.
No.
So, but Alex, go ahead and unmute yourself afterwards after I'm done. But do you remember when we were in Miami? We're having that documentary with Roberto, and then that guy kept commenting on your Instagram live story, and he kept saying "Yo, dude, Safe Moon is mooning right now." And then I looked at you, and I'm like, dude, what the hell is Safe Moon? And you didn't even know what the hell Safe Moon was either, right? These little cryptos, man, they come out of nowhere. What is it? Cum Rocket? What's a MILF coin? Ass coin?
Jizz coin.
Ass coin. There are a lot of coming out of nowhere.
It's been all over the place. No, it's wild, and I tried to share my screen. I don't know if it came through. But that's
no. Do you want to share screen?
Sure. I would love to share my screen.
Let's see. How do we do that? Let's see if I can make that.
Are you still getting feedback, by the way?
Only whenever we're not talking. Like right now, when you're not talking. Wait, when you're not speaking, no. When you're not speaking, that's a problem. But when you are speaking, no problem.
Huh. It's weird. Which one am I sharing?
I don't know if I can. I'm not sure if if I can share the screen, but maybe we can talk about it after. But what do you want to show us, my man?
I want to show my gains today.
Oh, what is it? So what coin is it that you came up on?
It's the Tech Lead coin. Made a freaking killing on it. It's great. So you should be able to let me share because it says I'm sharing a window. You just put my window forward.
By the way, I want to give a quick comment. My boy Miguel from LA, and I'll address you in just a second, Alex. So my boy Miguel, bro, good to see you on here. DSP for life, man. That's my fraternity, Delta Sigma Pi. He says, I feel Gunjack since I have, I'm going to go ahead and, there we go. Feel Gunjack. Since I have a corporate job and I've been teaching myself how to trade and build strategy, it's not easy. Absolutely not. Miguel, if you ever have any questions, Sam, are you okay with helping Miguel anytime he ever wants to hit you up on Instagram, maybe exchange notes or something like that? If he ever wants a question for maybe 5 to 10 minutes to talk to you and pick your brain a little bit?
Absolutely. Let him contact me on Instagram. All my handles on social media are the same, Gunjack MW.
Beautiful, beautiful. And by the way, Miguel actually was part of my pledge class too. So he personally knows Kushbu as well, and we're all really good friends from the past and stuff. So good to see you on here, Miguel. All right, so Alex, let's address what you wanted to do. Is you said you wanted to share your screen. I feel like I've seen this multiple times where there was no issue with sharing the screen. You said you're sharing the screen right now?
Yeah. So I think you have to. There's a certain. You should be able to see it somewhere.
Share screen. It says sharing screen is easy with 2 monitors. Okay, let me try this. Well, I'm doing this. I'm sharing.
Well, I was going to say, Sam, in the meantime, I probably will be picking your brain too. So
feel free. I'm happy to help.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, there you go. Got it. Perfect.
Nice.
All right, let's zoom in on this.
So
it's called MM, huh? Million?
So pretty. So pretty. Such a joke.
That's fucking great.
Dude, it was
Wow.
complete BS because I was supposed to. So it was where we at? It was more than 24 hours. It was around right around here was when I was supposed to buy, and then I had to get on that consult. So I got on the consult, and then after the consult, we were here, and I was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna buy it anyways. Boop 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 boop.
Oh my God! All time low.
magnificent.
The all-time low is $5, and then it just shot to $208. Dude, you must have made a killing on this.
Yeah, I had a pretty good day. Let's put it that way.
Huds, was this the consult that we were talking about?
Yeah, it was.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for telling me about it too. Really appreciate you. Good to know we're business
like it.
partners.
I like it.
Next time, no dirty little secrets. This is society telling you they don't want you to win. Come on, Hudsman. We're all on the same team, brother.
We are. You just got to pay attention. I was too caught up as Chris was saying. It was the consult we were talking about.
Mhm.
I think you talked to the person afterwards, but yeah, just got another client yesterday and just keep hustling on the business and keep helping people every single day.
Alex, I want to actually pick your brain a little bit about the dating coaching you've been doing. You are very much more into personal one-on-one coaching. Well, I got to mute you for a sec. You're very much into personal one-on-one. Oops. There we go. One-on-one coaching, right? And with men and women that you help with dating. Now, what's been the most interesting thing, or kind of something you learned with coaching men and women that need dating help, right? And need their dating skills to be improved? What is one thing you learned that has been common in between the men and the women you've helped so far?
They don't understand each other. 100%. They don't understand each other at all. Girls have no idea what guys want, and guys have no idea what girls want.
That's your cue, Marcus.
Too bad he's muted.
Oh,
Yeah, he's muted. There you go.
There we go.
So
No, but yeah,
Facts.
it's absolutely wild. It was funny, Chris. You were there the other night when we were sitting at the table talking to that one girl, and she's like, I really like Patty Stanger. I really like what she has to say, and I'm like, Patty Stanger. It's like, yeah, from Millionaire Matchmaker, and she's like, yeah, she figures it all out. I'm like, wait a minute, I know this girl. She's 60 years old. She's unmarried and doesn't have kids. Why are you taking relationship advice from her? It's absolutely unbelievable.
It's amazing, man. Like, it's because, if someone has enough clout, if they have enough clout, their word is gospel for some odd reason. Like, literally, Jake Paul could be the next dating coach. Freaking Jerry Springer could be the next Dr. Phil. And everyone will listen like, oh, well, they're the prophets of our time. And the next thing you know, we're taking dating advice from freaking Cardi B. Now we know where we're going downhill. It's amazing.
I want to rebuttal what Alex said regarding the matchmaker thing. So here's the one thing. This is why I'm going to say this, Alex, and I would love for you to clarify this and address this. That your question was to that person, what makes you think that you should trust a woman? I'm not saying it in a mean way, by the way. Why should you trust a woman that is 60 years old, has no kids, never been married, and she's a matchmaker, right? Now, that's one way of going about it. And then let's just say the male version. Cam, you give all this advice for dating. You talk about how women should be, how men should be, but you're not married. You don't have a girlfriend, right? What makes you so qualified? What's your response to those people, Alex, that are going to say something like that as well?
So I do have to say that I'm in a very healthy relationship right now. And I think that you are as well, Cam. Like, and we've been through many experiences.
Nothing official. I just want to clarify. It's nothing official, but it's...
No, yeah. But when I say a healthy relationship, I view that as you seeing somebody for a fairly consistent amount of time. It's not like a month. You know what I mean? And so essentially where I come back on is like, I've had all these bad experiences. I've seen them. I've worked with people when they've been going through very tough times, whether it's fresh out of divorce or whether it's coming back up after a breakup. And so, you know what? Like, quite honestly, I view myself as qualified.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone else have have you guys heard that whole thing where people say like, oh, why are you qualified to give this advice if you're not married or single or married or in a relationship? What's your guys' whole take on this as well? Anybody on the panel?
Stupidest stuff I've ever heard. Like okay, here's a better one. One of the things that's in the community that we're a part of, oh, they're in a relationship. Why would you take advice from them? Bruh, isn't like the whole point of you going on dating is to eventually end up in a happy relationship at some point in your life? Like, isn't that like what we all try to do eventually down the road? Like, why are you, okay, congratulations. You want to, have 15 concubines like, Genghis Khan. Awesome, cool. Learning that's going to be the easy part down the road. I have, you and Hans to thank for my progress in that area. But down the road, eventually we do want to end up in a long-term relationship, whether that is marriage, having like a steady girlfriend or whatever. So anyone that says like the opposite of that, it's just like, that's like the antithesis of what deep down our desired goal is. So it's kind of weird that people will criticize for that when people are just trying to help out one another.
Chris, really quick before anyone else addresses this, are you wearing? You have wireless headphones, right?
Yeah, take them off.
I would recommend. So here's the thing with YouTube, how it works. If you have like wireless headphones, like iPod earphone headphones, whatever they're called, and then like the other stuff, it may not work, and it actually comes off very choppy. So in your case right now, the audio is choppy. So if you have like headphones like this where there's like a wire, go for it. Otherwise, maybe just take off your headphones and just speak just through the camera.
Or you can try like what I'm doing, where I have wireless headphones, but my speaker is my actual computer. So I'm only listening on this side and I'm speaking on that side.
Okay.
So that's another option.
This is a good point.
That actually
get headphones.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful. See, that's what I love about this panel. We're all going to learn some shit right now. So what about the whole thing? For you guys, how did you guys come out of this pandemic? Like what's been it doesn't have to be so like I became like rich and I became very successful with women and all this crazy shit happened. But what is something that everybody had to go through some shit during this pandemic? For each of the panel, let's start with like what we see right now. We got Damian on my right, we got Sam on the far right, and then we'll go Marcus, Alex, and Chris afterwards. Starting with you, Damian, what was a big turning point for you in the pandemic that helped you grow a lot? For all the audience members that are watching this, what is something that helped you significantly?
I will say that I had what we call like a plan when I kind of got to DC. This month is like 5 years ago, but I had like a trajectory that I wanted to reach. And I got there and I was having trouble getting to that next step. But I guess the biggest difference is that I wasn't really getting ahead. And I was trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm doing everything right. So obviously the pandemic hit and I was in a weird position because obviously I could work from home, my job's not affected. But yet again, I had some interesting, financial situations happen still. But what really changed is that I realized I'm like, okay, I've always been in finance and I've always been in the financial markets, but I never really took, like I said, crypto very seriously because I saw it in 2011. I saw the hackings of the exchanges. I saw the things that happened in 2011, 2013, and I put it away. But that's kind of when I joined like the banking and investment world. I saw it there. I watched a bunch of the documentaries, but I put it down and I didn't really have anybody where I'm like, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about until really the pandemic hit. And obviously, like I saw Charlie and I'm like, all right, well, Charlie doesn't give a bunch of hopium. Doesn't give a bunch
right.
of like, we're going to be like driving Lambos tomorrow. like I always knew about TA and technical analysis, but I never had anybody like actually like walk you through it through a course. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, this is now probably the best time for me to just jump into this. And so what it did is it made me really combine what I already knew and kind of bring it into this field. And like I said, it kind of just helped me jump like a side hustle really. And so eventually, I mean, I'd like to get where, like Sam as well, at some point where I'm like, I don't have to do this anymore. Yet again, I live in an expensive city too, so that's always a factor. But as far as my change between last year and this year is that I always knew that like when something like this happened, there's going to be like a reset. So I kind of perfectly timed when to get into a cheaper rental. I perfectly timed when to be like, all right, now's the time to jump into the job market, because I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Last time I saw it was 2008. And I'm like, I already know how this happens. So I'm like, all right, I'm old enough to know how this happened. And last time it wasn't so great. So I'm like, all right, well, almost 10 years later, this time I can actually be in the right scene in the movie. So like that part is really almost done. I'm almost getting to the second part of that act. And so probably between now and I would say February next year is really the next leg up in that. And so that's really the best part I can explain about that is that always try to jump up as much as you can. If you don't reach it the first time, I mean, you just keep jumping.
Love that, man. So pretty much the bottom line for you is that you got to have a plan going into life. You can't be dicking around. You can't be just like, I mean, sure, spontaneity is fine. Sure, like a little bit of just kind of going with the flow is fine. But ultimately, you need a plan.
Well, there's a phase where you can try things out and go with the flow, but then you have to realize, okay, that time is over and now it's time to get serious. And so
what age is that though? What age or what time period is that, would you say, for like a young man who's watching this? Because I know we got a lot of like, shout out to Andre, my boy, who's like, I think he's 21 years old. So this guy can learn a lot right now. So what would you say is the time period for him?
If you're going to mess around and not like take things super seriously, like probably 20 to like 23, 24 is the most you could really push that. But once you hit 25 and up, like you really, unless your parents come from a nice background and you can fall back on something, or you have something that's like your niche, you really need to start developing a specialty. You need to start developing a skill. And then after probably like 29, 30, you really need to start developing like a side hustle. And so, because what ends up happening is that everybody around you starts looking at you and being like, all right, well, he has potential. But then after the potential, they're like, okay, well, where's that potential taking you? If the potential hasn't taken you anywhere, then you know it's on you. And everybody around you knows that it's on you. And so that's kind of like where accountability kind of walks into this, is that like, if you're within the right circle of people, accountability will speak for itself. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I love traveling and I love like going out and stuff like that. But for many, many years, I haven't really done a lot of traveling. And so what that stems from is like, all right, this is the time for me to like grind until I will be doing the same thing later on. I will be doing the traveling that I want to do that I'm not doing right now. So.
Awesome. Dude, you dropped a lot of gems right there, man. Appreciate your wisdom on that. Thank you for sharing that. What about you, Sam?
I don't know how I'm going to follow that. I was going to keep it short and simple.
I think you're muted.
Who you say is muted? Alex?
Alex.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Alex, we don't hear you, by the way, right now. We don't hear you at all. But really quick, I want to go back to Sam. He was in the middle of responding. So Sam, what were you saying, my man? I don't worry about like long or short responses. We just want to know, this stream is super laid back, super casual, man. Yeah, dude, this is just like a bunch of guys that are smart, educated. We got a lot of good things going for us, good heads on our shoulders, and that's what it's all about, man. It's just bringing that energy out. So tell us what's on your mind, man. What was the biggest like turning point for you in the pandemic, or a learning lesson that you figured out?
So for the question sounded more like what was your takeaway from this? So I'll respond in that manner. I got very lucky with this, believe it or not. It couldn't have come at a better time. It forced me to focus with no distractions on what I wanted to achieve, which was to learn how to day trade without losing, or if not a little bit, just like none at all. So that was my greatest takeaway. Like I got very lucky that we were forced to stay inside basically for a year. I had no choice but to do it, and it's something I already wanted to do. So I just doubled down on it. I focused on it with no distractions. That was critical. No distractions. There's no worrying about where am I going to go on Friday and Saturday night. There was like, you couldn't even spend money if your life depended on it. That was my greatest takeaway. And then I also did like, some fun stuff. Like I started Twitch streaming and then making YouTube content, Instagram content. And then Logan Paul decides to open up a Pokemon box. I just bought a bunch of Pokemon stuff and sold a good chunk of it with a huge profit, and the rest is in my private collection. So there was like whatever I want to do, I'm like, I'm just going to do it right now because this, other than going out, of course, and going to the gym because I couldn't do that. But other than that, whatever I wanted to do. What's the one?
Look at the tagged comment. Throw a 1 in the chat. I want all the audience members. Throw a 1 in the chat if you feel like Sam should continue streaming on Twitch. The audience will speak themselves, and then after that, if you see a bunch of 1s, you're gonna have to do it.
I just got my new computer. I'm like, I'm not gonna download Streamlabs OBS on this. But
dude, I got a 1 from
I
Damian. I got a 1 from Damian. I got a 1 from Chris, and then there we go. We got Andre throwing a 1 as well.
I mean, we can do a collab, man. If you want me to want to be a guest on yours, I can do that. So.
Yeah, I feel like you
Sam.
guys actually, you and Damian
Sam.
have a great one. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yo, Sam, if you return to Twitch streaming, I'm gonna return with you, because during the pandemic, I actually started learning all of this like content creating and streaming sphere. And bro, honestly, the only reason I stopped is because my jobs were getting brutal, like brutal as fuck. Like I started at 8 a.m. to work, and then on average I would end at like 10 p.m. So that was more or less the reason I stopped streaming. But bro, if you return to Twitch, I'm returning too.
Oh, my
Let's
biggest
fucking do it.
downside, and I told Cameron this before. So I'm on cable, right? And you know that there's no guaranteed speed on cable. So it was like the period of time that I could stream, and I was streaming for a few hours, the upload speed would go from like already a bad number, 25 megabits per second, down to like, dude, some days it would be in the couple hundreds of kilobits. I'm like, all right, like it's just all choppy and stuff. So the lack of consistency really discouraged me from doing that. So I've been waiting for AT&T fiber to like come to my area just so I could hop on that and just continue streaming. So I do hope to do it one day. It's just, it depends on AT&T. So come on, AT&T, come on.
Dude, Marcus, I love that, man. See, this is what the show is all about, man. It's inspiring others to pursue. If you always had something on the back burner, like, here we go. Now we got guys saying like, hey, you know what? If you do it, I'm going to do it too. And I fucking love that, man. So Marcus, mi hermano, díganos, what's going on? What do you think about the pandemic? Alex, we can't hear you. We still cannot hear you, brother.
Nope.
back to the drawing board. Back to the gulag for you. Keep figuring it out, my man. Don't worry. Alex, we just do IG live streams for the rest of our lives, bro. Me and you, we're just going to do IG live stream. There's no more YouTube, man. Does anybody hear Alex? I don't hear Alex at all.
No, none of us do.
Sorry, dude.
Poor guy. It's all good.
Is my audio better?
Good.
More or less.
More or less.
All right. Good
No,
enough.
you're okay, Chris. It seems a little bit more clear now, but we're gonna know the true feedback once it gets to your turn. So, well, let me have Marcus go next, and I appreciate you for checking, Chris. I'm gonna have Marcus go next. We're gonna skip Alex. We'll go to you, Chris, and then we'll go to Alex last. So, okay, díganos, Marcus. ¿Qué pasó sobre la pandemia? What happened, man? What was it for you that was like the learning lesson for you, or a massive amount of growth you got out of it? What is your opinion on it?
Well, like Damian, you have to have a plan. And
Just throw a Don DeMarco. That's a Don DeMarco.
Okay, wait. Yeah.
That's a Don DeMarco.
Don DeMarco.
Yeah. Throw that Don DeMarco in there, baby. Okay, so go ahead, Marcus.
So yeah, you have to have a plan, and other than having a plan, you have to be willing to execute it no matter how your day goes. Because the thing is that, for example, this is something that really happened to me. In the previous job I had before my current job, even though my job was like the most essential, there were a lot of rumors that even I was going to get reduced work hours. So that would mean that basically I would receive less money. So when I got told that, I said, "Yo, I need a side hustle ASAP." And that's when I started like getting into the stream and content creating sphere and learning how to work on Twitch, use Streamlabs, etc. Because another thing I learned from the pandemic, the future is doing things like this. Like you need to understand, people need to understand that we are now in an age where we are literally broadcasting everything. We see that with YouTube Live, we see that with Twitch streams, we even see that with Instagram Live. Like with Instagram in particular, you're actually broadcasting what you do on the day-to-day basis. So you have to learn how to monetize that type of content. And basically, other than that, you need to make yourself as indispensable as possible. Learn skills, have a plan, act on it, and make money, make muscles, learn game, like MLD says.
Yeah, shout out to MLD for those three true words right there. Highly agree with all that shit. So I wanted to ask you something, Marcus. What you said was, why do you think people are like, I have the comment highlighted right there. It's saying you have to continue your plan no matter how your day goes. That's what you said, right? Why do you feel like people that have a certain plan, they stop pursuing it? Like, what's like a common thing that people are doing, in your opinion, that is stopping them from pursuing greatness?
They go based solely on emotion, and that emotion is motivation. I'm not going to trash motivation because it is good to have motivation, but as Jocko Willing says, you have to have discipline. If you don't have discipline, I mean, motivation, like any other emotion, is just going to go away sooner or later. So if you don't have a discipline, that plan is going to fail. And if that plan fails, you're going to fail.
Oh, damn. That was freaking good, man. Throw another Don DeMarco, Marcus. Yeah, I love it.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
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 Yeah,
Very
back to the
too.
original because you guys are trying to make me do other stuff. Do you have anything else on that soundboard?
Yeah, I got this.
Gotcha, bitch.
I got this. I also got a lot of sounds here. Like
Good
Very
stuff.
fresh and fit podcast. Love that,
Throw
man.
the one that you in our chat. You gotta throw the one that you shared in our chat.
oh no.
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
You gotta save that. You gotta save that for the right occasion.
Yeah, exactly.
So appreciate the wisdom, Marcus. There was a lot of gems that you just dropped right there. So thank you for that, brother. Thank you. Mucho gratitud. Alex, what about you, man? What is something during the pandemic? I mean, dude, you and me, bro, we talk almost like every day. We're always on the phone with each other about business, about the dating market, mistakes. I know, baby. I love you so much too. There's just a lot of like really, really good information that I gather from you about the whole dating thing. You are the dating coach expert, my man. You're the guy out there that people should be going up to asking for dating advice, and I vouch people to do that. So let's talk about like your own personal self-development, right? Like, did you feel like maybe your dating skills improved a little bit throughout this whole thing? Because we had to be quarantined, right? So I'm sure a lot of men and women that are in relationships together, they probably lost their minds. I hate this person so much, or I always see them every day. Like, what's your whole take on that?
So you're talking about the experience when somebody already had a partner. And I think most people did not have a partner when the whole like lockdown stuff happened. Now, I come from the side of I did have somebody at the start of lockdown, and everything just kind of spiraled out of control. Now, she didn't live with me, but when things came to a head, which actually we are a few days away from the 1 year anniversary of that happening. And it felt like getting the rug pulled. You know, I felt like the rug was pulled underneath me. and I had never really used online dating before. Now, I know we took some courses, we learned from people that understand how that type of marketplace works, but yeah, it completely changed everything, and it's learning about how to adapt. I know a lot of the times we make jokes about TikToks and these kids these days, but you know what? Like, you can't ignore it. It's just how the world works. It's a lot more digital. And how do you take that digital to more in person? How do you make it personal? And that's what I found. I learned all my online dating skills during this pandemic. So for me, I mean, it was a great time because it was a learning experience and it was an opportunity to give that information back to others. So I didn't have a lot of complaints about it. You know, I had a period of time where I was like completely confused about, all right, like what is my life? What's going on? Like, everything is changing. But then I did the self work. I took a period of time where it was kind of like going monk mode, as people talk about, where like I stopped drinking, I stopped going out, I stopped talking to people, and I just kind of focused on myself. I went through some therapy, and I was like, all right, like what do I need to do to become a better person? So as a whole, I have to say that like this was one of the best things that I could have experienced in my entire life.
So before we go to Chris, I actually want to talk about your comments, Alex. You said a lot of important stuff. So for me, the pandemic was a lot about self-reflection, about where I stand in life. Just in general, it was actually a cleansing phase for me, I guess, as well. I had a lot of just going out every Friday, Saturday. It was a lot of reflection about who my friends are, you know, are the women that I'm dating, like, are they truly compatible for me? And when I joined in that same course with you with MLD's program, Alex, when we jumped into that, I learned a lot that I was lacking so much in the dating market. Holy crap, man. I was misinformed. I was confused about who I was as a person. Here's the beauty about when you work on your dating skills, for everyone who's watching this. I think I might be getting feedback from you again, Alex. Let me see. Okay. So far, so good. But Alex, your audio is way better than it was before. So I'm just going to mute you for right now because for some reason, I don't know why there's still feedback. But brother, I really appreciate it again, all the advice that you gave or your reflection, because for me, again, I really was lacking a lot. And the best part about being in the pandemic, and you know, obviously we all are being very empathetic and we feel sorry for anybody who like lost lives and anybody who like lost a lot of business, a lot of money. I mean, my restaurant survived. Thank you. So we all, my family did relatively well coming into this pandemic, thank God. And also myself, like the grand meal was started because I was able to work on myself really fast in 1 year, a complete 180. If Alex, if you knew me, if any of you guys knew, well, Sam, I want to know what your opinion on this. Cameron, back in 2020, before pandemic and beyond, we're going back to the past when you and I were hanging out with each other in 08, 09, right? So do you see a big difference, like in 1 year's time, of who I was before and who I am now?
Yes, absolutely.
In what way, though? And I'm not saying this to sound cool to the audience. I just want to know, like, this is just, again, if you apply yourself and you want to work on your skills, then you can get to the point where you have a lot of mental clarity, just liberating more of your mindset. Go ahead, Sam.
The two biggest things that I noticed, and this is not to be like, oh, you were terrible before. Your confidence is really, really high compared to what it was before.
Agreed.
I remember when you talking to like a subpar girl, in my opinion, was like a high point for you, and now you're just like on a neck, multiple tiers higher, to say the least. And then number two, I don't think you had ever hit the gym before. At least I didn't know. Like you were very like I know we used to be at Equinox together, but that was like towards like the last few years. You were definitely taking that more seriously. Now I think it's like you're even cooking yourself and stuff. So that part, just throw that on there. Health and fitness.
Absolutely. So I'll be honest with everybody. Like I've been working out since I was the age of 24. So this is like 2013 or something, right after CSUN when I graduated from school, right? Because Sam and I went to the same school, university. So after that, I did work out, but I wasn't doing it the way that like it was very. So there's this guy in our community called Myron Gaines, and you know who that is, Sam, right? The guy who's a host of he's one of the 2 hosts for Fresh and Fit podcast.
It's not ringing a bell, but I know the name. I'm just like trouble putting the face to the picture.
I'm a client of his for fitness. And dude, this guy changed my freaking body, man. Like I look way more lean, way more fit. And I still have a lot of work to do for myself, but I appreciate the feedback, man. And definitely I was not working out efficiently. So if you say, since you made that comment about like, oh, were you working out? I'm not really sure. It's because I was not doing it well. And all that time that I spent wasn't making crazy progress. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Once I got the proper coaching, just with dating, just with fitness, now I'm freaking stronger now, which goes perfectly into the next segue, which, hold on, I've got to go. Jesus Christ. I got to like use these camera angles. My boy, Chris, which is all the way. Jesus Christ, whatever. Screw this.
I'm right here.
Chris, you're always at the bottom, man. You're at the bottom right now, brother. Tell me about like the fitness thing, man. Like what was this pandemic a moment for you to self-reflect on your body, your mind as well?
So I'm going to start off. This is going to get deep. Just going to let you guys know. So 2019 was the worst year of my life. I was a mat cell. I was too obsessed with jiu-jitsu. Some people would have called it discipline. It was really obsession. I'm not going to say completely what happened. Huds knows what happened because I disclosed the full story to him. Let's just say I did a couple of things I shouldn't have done. I got too obsessed with something and it didn't lead me down a good road. So 2020, I said to myself, you know what? My back's against the wall. I got to make a change. 2020, I got my driver's license. And I also said to myself, you know what? We're going to improve our dating life as well. Pandemic hit. Obviously not the most optimal time to go out and really date. But I was searching for answers. Next thing you know, I find Rollo's book via a friend of ours. Read that like the Bible. Like I was like, screw Catholicism. I'm going to go to Christianity. This is the red pillianity or whatever you want to call it, right? Next thing you know, I'm watching Rule Zero. I'm watching Rich Cooper. I'm watching all these guys. Shout out to these guys as well. And then next thing you know, I end up finding a guy who had a mustache, dressed up in an army suit with a toy M16, calling himself the high commander of the Hot Dude Army at the time. Yeah. Something in me said, what's this guy about? So I started listening to his stuff. And the next thing you know, once Philadelphia hit yellow phase, this would be a cue for that one soundboard thing, maybe. I cashed in a certain card and life was really good. And then when it came to my body, it was very much, well, you know what? You can't go to the gym. You can't do jiu-jitsu because, you had to do what you had to do. Just did a bunch of, the Murph, did my 10 pull-ups, 20 push-ups, 30 squats with a weighted vest on. I still made a decent amount of gains doing that. Obviously I monitor what I ate. I'm not really big on tracking my calories, but I watch what I eat. It's amazing what you can just do with common sense. Like, hey, maybe not eat the Doritos and maybe eat like an apple. Like just those little small changes. Just those little small changes can really just, change your entire body and all that sort. And people are all like, oh, well, I have to track my macros and all this type of stuff. Listen, chill. Like, you don't need to be a super account to have a decent looking body. Everyone thinks that you need to look like Brad Pitt or Jared Leto in Fight Club. And all you just need, as long as you have an upside down looking triangle, you're basically good to go. Like, that's all really girls are like looking for at the end of the day, especially if you're in a city like Philadelphia, where, let's be honest, the quality here is not the best, as Huds very well knows. It is what it is. But you know what? You can't make an excuse. When life has you on the back, you got to fight back. Like freaking Vegeta trying to surpass Kakarot, man. You got to do what you got to do. And ultimately, one day you're going to go Super Saiyan. It's just your time to do it. Make it happen.
Yeah, perfect timing. Perfect fucking timing. I love that, Marcus. Dude, Chris, that was really good, man. Chris, you and me and Alex were all part of this group, and dude, I've seen a lot of changes in you, brother. I see you growing. And first of all, what girl is gonna say no to such a handsome, charming guy with those goddamn blue eyes, man? Jesus Christ! And you got muscles. You got those gains. Come on, man. What girl is gonna say no to you?
It's funny, man.
Exactly.
Just, it was all about social acuity. I grew up with here's another one. I grew up with Asperger's. So those who don't know,
I still don't believe that. I still don't believe
Yeah.
that.
Bruh.
I would ask.
Well, the thing is that growing up, I was diagnosed. So I was diagnosed with it when I was around 6, 7 years old, and luckily, my parents, they were very good. I had very good parents growing up. They put me in social skills training at a young age when I was in middle school, and through that, I learned social acuity and all that sort. The one thing I never learned though was how to communicate with the opposite sex, which is a completely different. So
Bars.
yeah, exactly. So you want to talk about a literal spurg? Hey, here's your boy. So I literally, and so dead ass, I was, failing with women. I utterly failed. I simped out hard when I was in college and high school, and up until 2019, I was simping hard. I was literally crying. Why couldn't I find the one? And then next thing you know, I started coming to some red pill truths by myself in 2019. Just started thinking about this type of stuff. And then 2020, I was like, you know what? We're going to study this. We're going to study this hard. This is training camp now. This is preparing for the fight coming in. And I know I gave this speech to someone in this room right now. Listen, 2020 was the camp. 2021, we're about to hit the octagon. So
boom.
I took
Bars.
Boom.
Dom the
I took
Monko.
that seriously, and now, obviously I got my license. We're looking at getting a condo now, and we're just going to improve, and we're going to get a lot more good stuff going. So that's all I got to really say. And thanks to you guys in this community, I really grew as a person.
I want to first off say, Chris, we're really proud of your transformation, man. And you're going to continually transform and be a badass by the time you're my age. I'm 30 years old, man. So wait until you hit 30, game over.
Only for a couple more days.
Really? Wait, you're going to turn...
One more day. One more day, actually.
Wait, Chris, your birthday's tomorrow? Or not tomorrow, but the day after?
Isn't your birthday tomorrow?
My birthday's tomorrow. I'm turning 31 tomorrow.
Happy birthday, brother.
And it's going to... Thank you. It's going to be lots of, happy birthday.
This is never going to get old.
It's never going to get old, man. It's going to be a lot of this and a lot of this.
Gotcha, bitch.
So I just want to quickly say also, when I said that comment to Chris about when he said I was diagnosed with Asperger's at a younger age, I don't want to seem indecent and say I don't believe you because you're not somebody who has Asperger's. I don't want to sound like for anyone who's out there don't cancel me or anything like that. The reason why I never saw anything in Chris that would give off that vibe. So there's obviously diagnoses. So it's not it's everybody's perfect all the time. So, but dude, Chris, I love your transformation, man. And dude, those freaking videos of you lifting all those weights, man. Dude, what I'm jealous about your physical transformation is because even in 1 year, your arms got freaking huge, your chest got huge, man. Even in 1 year, my arms are not that big. So if anybody personal advice for me as well, please let me know. And for any of the audience members who's trying to get those gains and they're not fully there yet, right? What is it that you feel like the fitness industry is not really informing us about, or maybe or just in general, we're all misinformed about with fitness?
The biggest thing is, in my personal opinion, it comes to, you need to track every single little thing that you do. If you're preparing for a competition, like a jiu-jitsu competition where you have to cut weight, a bodybuilding competition where you have to cut weight and make some sort of gains or anything like that, yes, track your shit. But if you're trying to go for general fitness, you can track. There's no problem with tracking, but use some common sense. You want to increase, and even Myron says this, increase the habits that benefit you and decrease the habits that do not. I'll give an example. So a lot of people like to talk about Joe Rogan. And what's one of the things Joe Rogan is the most famous for? Smoking that ganja, right?
Oh.
Smoking that cheap like Justin Bieber. So the problem with people is that they'll use Joe Rogan as an example, but they don't have his discipline. You don't have that discipline, yeah, you're going to succumb to the munchies. You're going to eat 3 bags of Doritos, and you're going to eat two pies of pizza. And now you're going to wonder why you're fat, why you're jobless, and why no girl wants to, tickle your, whatever. Bro, it's common freaking sense. You got to actually go to the gym. You actually have to eat your 4 eggs, eat your rice, eat your kale. Stop drinking as much as the beer. Maybe switch to vodka and whiskey once in a while. It's, because listen, everyone's like, oh, well, I want to drink on the weekends. Listen, there's no problem with drinking. It's what you drink that's the problem. If you keep drinking natty daddies, you keep drinking that hop stuff, it's going to increase your estrogen levels. That's just a fact of the matter. Drink your vodka, you drink your liquor, you're going to be better off because you can actually track your drunkenness better when you're going out too. It's quicker to get that thing going, and it's quicker to get to that game, as Alex and we did last weekend. It was a good time. So,
dude, I swear to God, I keep trying to drink so I get more estrogen, and it's not working.
You don't have your C cups yet, right?
I'm trying, dude. Lord knows I am.
But the thing is that everyone has this whole idea of you need to look like Cristiano Ronaldo. You need to look like this. Listen, yeah, girls might oogle and ogle over Cristiano Ronaldo, but let me drop another thing when it comes to girls as well. And this is something I've realized too. Listen, not every single girl is expecting you to look like Brad Pitt. Stop thinking that you have to look like this certain way because most of the time they're dehydrating themselves looking like that. Take pride in your work, take pride in what you do, and as long as you're slim in the waist and you at least have a bigger chest in your waist if you're a guy, you're going to be okay. Just relax, take your time, don't overdo it, and you'll be good.
See, this is actually something I do disagree with on. I think we focus too much on looks, and it really comes down to your social skills. That's at least the camp that I stand in. So, Chris, for example, when we went out last weekend, and there was the 2 girls that went to sit down at the other table, and I said to them, hey, why don't you girls come join us? And they're like, oh, no, it's okay, we're fine. And we just continued on with our conversation. What happened 15 seconds later?
Were these the 2 younger girls?
Nah, not the younger ones. It was the 2 girls that came right over.
Oh, they ended up coming over to us anyways.
Yep.
Oh my God.
That's why I think that the social skills, the frame, is so important. It really is. It doesn't matter if you're Giga Chad like you, or you're just average Joe. It's just having that way of doing. You're doing things with authority, confidence, conviction would be a good word for that.
100%. Actually, I think we're going to agree rather than disagree on this one. What I always say is that looks get you in the door. You need the social skills to actually win the job.
Exactly.
So I think we agree more than disagree, Alex. I'm just going to put that out there.
I'm sure.
What would you guys say then? So Marcus, let's go with you first, and then we'll go to Sam, we'll go to Damian afterwards. Marcus, what's your opinion? Looks is more important, or having game? And I don't mean just game like dating game, just being able to have game and communication skills with business, with just anything in general. What's your take on it? Looks comes first, or game comes first?
I'm in the camp with Chris here because looks are important, but they only get you in, they open the door. But in order to close the deal, you actually have to have game. It's not 100% how you look like, it's how you market yourself.
Okay.
Because I actually have a friend, the one that owns the bar. He's not fit. He's actually smaller than me, and I'm 5'8", and I've seen him pull multiple women way beyond his league. Why? Because he has natural game. He knows how to market himself and communicate with women.
So would you say that? Sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No. Continue.
Well, I was gonna say, were you? Does this guy though? he has a lot of experience dating women. He has been able to take women back to his place or wherever he's taking them, right? He was able to convince them and say, hey, listen, you should trust me, be comfortable with me, and be in my presence, right? Do you see this gentleman, your friend of yours in Puerto Rico, right? Does this guy get rejected a lot too solely because of his height? Or, I mean, is he dressed very well and just his height short? Or he goes up to girls and they don't really, I mean, not all girls are going to like his height. So he'll probably get turned down, at least by some women, right? But do you see it more? Do you see it more as like he gets turned down because he's short, or he's getting turned down because he didn't communicate well with the woman?
Honestly, I haven't thought about it that way, but at times it's just sometimes from what I have seen is that he comes to like too assertive, and that may, you know, be a red flag for some women, but I would say that's about it. The times that he does get rejected is because he's too forward.
I'm definitely too forward, but there's a levels to this, right? There's levels to being forward. There's a couple of guys that I'm hanging out with, like a new set of friends. I had to like kind of just, you know, fix all my friends. Sam, you're at the dinner, so you saw a bunch of new faces you've never seen before. But there's these guys I'm hanging out with a lot, and one of the things that I've been sharing with them is about what you just said. What was it mentioned, Marcus? You said, about assertiveness. Okay, so with assertiveness, one of the guys, Alex, I got to show you his bio, man. This guy's bio is so funny. With like, it's a very sexual innuendo. It has a lot of sexual innuendo in it. Very assertive. And I was telling him, listen, he's like, I think 6'4" or 6'3", so of course he can get away with it. More power to him. I'm not hating on it. Go ahead, my man. But regarding, these dating apps, also, like, you got to be careful with like these dating apps, because the girl, I love dirty talking. And shout out to the Hudsman, who's going to be interviewing Alan Roger Curry, the godfather of direct game. So everybody on the panel. Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna be so good tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm excited.
I'm gonna definitely watch that. So I love me some Alan Roger Curry.
Oh yeah.
So you got to be careful with this whole direct game thing, and not every woman's gonna take it so well. But the power of game is so much better in person. So if I'm gonna dirty talk, which is one of my favorite things to do, I think I'm gonna write an erotic novel one day, or I'm just gonna do like some audibles where I'm like talking. Yeah, straight up, dude. I'm kind of following the ARC route with like how he did like his audibles and stuff, and he did like dirty talking for women. He was like a radio host too. Alex, I don't know if you know this, he was a radio host where he was literally, women would call in and he would have phone sex with them, which I think is absolutely insane, and I love that shit. So I definitely I'll try to ask him a question tomorrow. If you can pin that too, that'll be cool as well. Let's go to Sam. Sam, what's your whole take on this? So the question is this: do you feel looks is more paramount, or do you feel like game is more paramount when it comes to approaching life, not just women, but life in general?
I think it's just like the gym. For the gym, if you don't have a good diet, then your working out is just not going to matter that much. But if you have both, there's synergy. So I think that it's 50-50 for an average person.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I like that, man. Damian, what about you, brother?
I don't know. I might be a contrarian here. So it depends on the medium, because at the end of the day, like, you're giving an example of in person. Like, in person, there'll be a lot of women who will entertain you to a great extent. Even if you have not the best looks, but you have really good game, they will chat you up. You'll have a great interaction, but you're walking home alone. And so I think that looks opens that door up in a way that's non-friend oriented faster, but obviously game closes it. And so, but I happen to think that it's not really 50-50. I happen to think it's really a lot more 75-25, more towards the looks and less towards the game. And the reason I say that is because, like I said, if you're in person, you've already like gotten there. Like, getting them in person is the hard part. Like, if you're getting somebody over like a different medium, whether it's like text message or a phone call, or like trying to get them in person, like, that's the hard part. Like, if they're right in front of you, like, you're already like much better off. And so that's kind of where I'm at with as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm. I would like to state my opinion, and Alex, I want to get your opinion on. I know you already mentioned it, but just to what everybody else says, I would love to hear your opinion on this as well. Me personally, damn, that's a really hard one. Why did I even ask this question myself? I think for me, I would say, okay, so here's the thing. Game. Looks is going to be the number one thing because it's getting you to the door, just like what Chris said, right? I agree with that. But here's the thing. Game is like literally underneath it. It's not like, for example, looks is here and game is here, right? Looks is just like that little bit just to like say, hey, I'm safe. You can trust me. I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to harm you, right? So I feel like with the better you're dressed, obviously you're going to get more doors open for you. I mean, if I'm at, let's say, a club in LA, I'm at Poppy's, for example, which I was like this past Thursday, which is absolutely wild. If I'm at Poppy's and I'm dressed like a bum, even if the girls see me, they're thinking, okay, some rich guy with like bad taste in clothes, right? Or it's just some guy with money and he's spending it all at the club, right? Do you think a woman is going to respect me as much? Like, I mean, you know, once we have a conversation, I don't know how you can have a conversation in a club, but like, having that right clothing or just you're embracing your swag, you're embracing the way you dress. It's all in sync with your energy. Then your game is going to follow up with that. And sometimes, okay, so one of the things I've been told before is I got like that big eggplant energy, right? I don't want to say it like on live, but when I heard that, I felt very honored by it. And I was like, holy crap, because 2020 Cameron, like prior to all the coaching, nah, too soft, too nice, good boy, compliant little good boy. I mean, I wasn't an idiot. I wasn't some like guy who was like a complete dweeb, but like I needed that edge and I needed to improve my game. And on top of working on my game and working on my dating skills, my swag became 50 times better because like I unlocked this level of creativity that encouraged me to be more ballsy, to be more bold. Jewelry, edgy clothes. That is where the whole big eggplant energy came about, right? So Alex, based on what everyone has shared so far, you being the dating coach guy, what's your opinion with what everybody said? Who do you agree with the most?
Keep playing with my webcam. This is fun learning these angles. I completely fucking disagree with you guys. I swear to God. This whole looks thing is like absolutely ridiculous. Like, so Cameron, you were not there yet when we were in Miami, but you remember the story about lunch, right?
Right.
The quick pull. So, like, let's be realistic here. All it takes is a good mouthpiece, and you can do anything. And you know that, like, I'm not in great shape.
That's
At
true.
least not by these standards. You know, when I got fucking Adonis over here.
But Alex, dude, Alex. I'm waiting for it, Marcus, I'm waiting for it, brother. Just hit it, brother. Hit it. Yeah. So Alex, here's the thing though, bro. You are a relatively good-looking guy. Now imagine you put yourself into the gym, dude. You're gonna look like a freaking stud, and you already have a good set of hair. You're an attractive person, so I feel like you're kind of getting away a little bit with your looks. But I agree with you on the mouthpiece thing. It's just like imagine a guy who's, let's say, an average-looking dude. I guess like mouthpiece would carry him, but if he's like extremely out of shape, obviously, no matter how good your mouthpiece is, you're probably gonna get more rejected by women than maybe getting accepted by them.
All right, so let me take you back for a second. Your first date, the first date with a girl, you want to take her on an experience, right? Mm-hmm. So an attractive guy can't come on a date and just be there and then move things forward. Like, I guess we can be frank, get laid. It's just not going to happen because you have to be interesting. Mm-hmm. And so essentially what we're talking about with the looks is that looks is getting you in the door. So if we're weighing heavily on looks, it's about getting in the door, but then what are you doing afterwards? Are you just a bland human being?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I said for me, Damian's was like very big disparity, and I like the contrarian. We got to have a contrarian in the group, but like Damian was saying, like he's 75% looks and 25% game, right? I disagree with that, but I can see where Damian is coming from, but for me, it's like this. That's why I said like looks is just right here, and game is immediately underneath.
I think game is far higher. I think
Interesting.
actually
Okay, what would you say based on like Damian's ratio, right? He was saying 75-25, vice versa. So what would you say then?
reverse it.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments on that?
The one thing I'll say is that looks do, but I'm going to take it in a different way when it comes to looks.
Okay.
So actually, Alex, I'm going to use you for an example, my friend. Your fashion, you're a pretty good looking dude. No homo, but you're a pretty good looking dude. Just going to say that right now.
He's gonna look better when he has those C cups that he's buying from millions, the millions crypto coin that he got. Now he can pay for his whole surgery. Hey, come to LA, bro. I got you in Newport Beach, man. There's great plastic surgery centers over there. All the MILFs, they use that facility. They use the facilities, man. I got you, brother.
But the thing is this. I'm going to say this about you, Alex. So your fashion does take you very far. I mean, are you in the best of shape? No, but are you in a lot better shape than most other people? Hell yes, you are. And your height helps you with that as well. The way that you are always working and you're not always eating shit food also helps as well. So and also the way how you dress, you wear very fitted clothes. That's one thing I've noticed about you. You wear very fitted clothes. You dress to impress. So in that way, the looks do matter because of the way how you're using your swag, as Cam said. That's why I think Cam was saying the looks are going to be up here versus, the mouthpiece being right here. But I'm going to also say this. I think that they're dead. Personally, in my humble opinion, they're dead even. They're dead even. Because if you look like a bum, you look like you just got back from the gym, on a date, that's unacceptable. Grant, This is coming from the guy wearing the Gymshark tank top right now. But it's unacceptable looking like that on a date or looking like that at the club. But you damn well better have a good mouthpiece if you're going to go to the club as well.
But see, that's the argument against it, is that we're thinking in our mindset. We're thinking about physical. We're thinking visual. Women don't think that way. Women are attracted to more
auditory. Women are auditory.
Yeah.
That's why you're saying mouthpiece is more important. Yeah.
Exactly. Because we're thinking about what we're attracted to. So it's like looks have to be more important. But that's not how women feel.
Bring up that auditory shit to ARC. He's going to love you for it. He's going to love you for it, man.
Oh, dude. I would love, I'll probably talk to him afterwards. I wish I could just be like completely uncensored during that show, because I would love to talk to him about some of the dirty talk stuff and good times.
Hey, I'm already demonetized on Instagram, and I'm just starting a fresh channel on YouTube. So send him my way, and I'll do all the uncensored stuff over there, man. I don't care if I get demonetized again. I mean, YouTube, don't do it. I'd rather get paid, but you know what I mean? So,
well, you could also do like a Patreon channel, like all the uncensored things can go in the Patreon, and the more family-friendly content can go on YouTube.
And by the way, Cam, we'll talk about it later. I have our editor, so we're good.
Excellent. Beautiful. I love it. Guys, I want to wrap things up right now for the first premiere of the episode. This was really great. We went to like an hour and 25 minutes or 23 minutes right now. So I just want to say thank you all you guys for coming on the show. So I'm going to start with Damian, going down to Chris at the end. So Damian, tell us where everybody can find you. If you're okay with also people hitting you up for some advice on like the econ stuff, the labor market or whatever. And I need to bring Damian, I need to bring you back, and I need to bring Marcus back, because I love Damian. Damian sometimes needs to wake us crypto people up, because sometimes I remember, like, if you follow a school of thought too much, and nothing against Cultivate Crypto, they're great guys. I love all of them. We all love them, right? But it's good to have like a difference in opinion and not get so like high off just only listening to one person the whole time, right? You got to have an all-around balanced mindset. And that's what being a Graham Mill is about, is tolerating other people's opinions, is understanding where they're coming from. You don't have to agree with it, but just understand that, hey, it's their opinion. Don't judge them for it, right? So Damian and Marcus, I got to bring you guys back. We'll have like an all crypto like panel, which would be really, really cool. We got to do that one time. So Damian, go ahead, my man. Tell me where everybody can find you. If you're also okay with people hitting you up for some advice, where can people find you, my man?
I mean, right now, honestly, I'm only on Instagram, so it's just the beard gains. So it's funny because my beard was actually longer. I just kind of cut it a little bit down for the summer. But the Beard Gains is my Instagram. So I mean, that's where you can find me. So, but by all means, we can talk about economics. We can talk about finance. We can talk about crypto. I'm probably the other contrarian on here. I'm actually a vegan too, so something that you guys probably don't even know.
But you have to tell us anyway. That's what all vegans do. Just to let you know I'm vegan.
But I throw it out there because like it's one of those things that like you just don't expect. So I have a couple of things you just don't expect. So.
Oh my God, man! Marcus is being savage with the with the soundboard right now, man. Damian, dude, you're hella intelligent, man, and you have a lot to offer for this community. For men's health space. There's nobody like you right now in this. I don't think there's anybody like you right now in our men's self-help space that's so deep into the labor, as a labor economist, just understanding government, how money supply works. I still don't know exactly how everything works 100%. So I want you to still share this knowledge with us. And if you, dude, you got to do some video, man. You got to make some videos, brother. There's so much that people can learn from you, man. So if you go with the TikTok route, dude, you could actually kill it on TikTok. Yeah, I'm actually learning how to edit.
I'm over 30. I'm not doing TikTok, but like, there's a rule for that. But no, man, we can definitely do something else. Maybe even Twitch. Who knows? So
okay, which goes perfectly into. Oh, wait, Alex, I think you're. Hold up. Go ahead. Oh, wait, Alex, hold on. Hold up. Okay, go ahead.
I said, Marcus, stop.
No, wait. This is my show, man. This is my show.
No,
all right.
it's not.
So, no, this next up is my show. So don't even say that. All right, Sam, go ahead, brother. What about you, man? Where can people find you? Can people hit you up for any like stock trading advice, like a quick call or anything like that, or maybe a few exchanges on the DMs?
Yeah, let's go for Gunjack NW. I'm on all the social medias, but right now I'm most active on Instagram. So just send me, first follow me so that when you send me a message, it goes into my primary. And then just feel free to ask me anything you'd like to know about, and I'll do my best to help you out.
Thank you, Sam. And by the way, the right over below Gunjack MW, that's how it's spelled, right?
Yes.
Beautiful. How many screens do you have, man? You have like 5 screens. Like I'm seeing you look at it like a different screen.
I have 3 screens. I put you guys on. Unfortunately, the camera is your face right now. That's where the camera goes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. Bro, I learned a lot from Sam with the whole the day trading stuff too as well. Like he was just informing about what's going on and showing me some of the things that he's been doing. I'm not very familiar with it. I don't plan to do the day trading stuff, but I know there's tons and tons of guys that are doing it with crypto, long, short, Doge, XRP, Doge. They want a long and short AMP or whatever they're doing, which by the way, don't ever short AMP. Are you kidding? AMP is like one of the best tokens out there. So nobody ever disrespects AMP like that. So appreciate you coming on the panel, Sam. So Marcus.
Thank you.
Marcus, go ahead, my man.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram as Marcus_3rd and Crypto Meme Per. That's like my meme account. I only share memes and maybe some crypto news there. But yeah, those are my Instagrams.
Beautiful. And
feel free to hit me up.
Appreciate you, man. And you know what? Marcus, I'm telling you, he's the guy to follow with all the crypto news. I don't even have to look at the news anymore because this guy is so into it and he's providing us value. So that's how he's given back to the community. And that's why I respect Marcus so much about it. Because like if I see like shit's going wild in the crypto market, just got to let my mind know like, hey, expect some crazy stuff to happen. Or if like China's throwing another crazy thing that's going to throw up the whole like crypto market, at least I know why it's happening, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, Hudsman, you're up.
Hey guys. So Cam, if you want to go ahead and just share everybody's names, pull the comment down. But I mean, you have it there as well. At the Hudsman, you can find me on Instagram. I do dating coaching, whether you are just trying to figure things out, whether you are out of divorce, whether you are just trying to get over a breakup. I work with everybody. And I think that some of the guys on this panel here can speak to that. I just love what I do. And it's all about just you taking the bull by the horns and living your life exactly as you should. So you can find me there. I do a show called Beyond the Basics. As Cam mentioned, I'm going to be having Alan Roger Curry on tomorrow, which is going to be super sweet because if anybody in this space knows anything about dating, he is the master of direct game. And it is so cool because that's what I always practiced. And once I came across his work and his book, it's like, oh my God, like everything that I do is like in written word. And so it's gonna be sweet. I'm very excited for it. And stay tuned for everything that we're gonna be doing in the future. I'm sure Cam, you can talk about that at the end.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you always working with you, man. All right, Mr. Matico, you're next, sir.
All right, y'all can find me on Instagram. It's FFF, so it stands for Frame Fitness and Fighting, but it's just FFF_Matico, MATICO. Hit me up in the DMs if you need anything with, mindset, fitness, anything like that. You can shoot me a DM. Most of these people in here probably have my phone number. If you DM me, I might even give you my phone number too. Everyone in this freaking manosphere will probably have my number. And if you want to talk, about whatever, just hit me up and we can definitely get you the results that you need in your fitness game, especially if you're into martial arts. I also specialize in that too. So just hit me up in the DMs.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Appreciate you coming on, Chris. I'm so happy for your transformation for your body, man. You're killing it, brother. So you can follow me at It's the Grand Cam. I also have another page called The Grand Mail, so you can follow that as well. Either of the two is fine. Again, you can hit me up. I do live streaming. I'm starting to migrate to YouTube now. By the way, Damian, just to let you know, I'm going to be 31 as of midnight, and I will be doing TikTok, but I haven't really gone into applied myself into TikTok just yet. But there's a lot. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of money to be made on TikTok. You can get a hell amount of sponsorships, and there's like a bunch of seniors and other guys out there and women out there that are over the age of 30 and they're killing it. But food for thought, and we could always talk about it in the future. We could even do maybe a collaboration also.
Hold on, a bunch of seniors?
Yeah,
is that your audience? A bunch of seniors on TikTok?
We got all kinds of people, man.
That's gonna definitely convince me there, Cam. That's gonna convince me.
God.
But that's funny though, Matt. But I was gonna say I'm actually a martial artist too, man. I actually forgot to mention that too. So I am, but yeah, definitely.
Damn, there you go. Now you got. Mm-hmm. No,
go
ahead.
I like it. No, I was gonna say, who knows, man? Things you might have to convince me, man. All right.
Absolutely, guys. This wraps up the episode. I want to say thank you again to everybody on the panel. Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for giving value to our audience. And this will end the broadcast. You guys all have a great night.
Thanks for having us.
Peace.